Hello, this is Anabrese. Thank you for joining me for this video where we're going to explore how you can live a more passionate, fulfilling life, doing what you love to do and doing something that's more in tune with you and your soul's blueprint and what you came here to do. And especially at this time, I feel like we're being asked to co-create a new earth that is going to be fulfilling, and it is one where everyone can thrive, and it is going to be for the benefit of planet earth as well. So it's not that we're going to be just carrying on with this kind of ego driven consumerism, but we're going to transform that. We're going to shift that over from being more consumer focused to being more contributor focused. So I'm just going to outline how we got to where we are today, really. So here we are. We start off as this child or a human being, and basically from the time we're born and through contact with our parents, the people around us, and our schooling, we receive a certain programming. And because we're young sponges, basically, we just absorb everything around us as truth because we don't really know, what we're doing here. We just arrive, fresh and young, and we receive this programming, which includes all our belief systems. And we inherit a lot of the belief systems and outlooks and perspectives of our parents, of the people around us. So we're kind of absorbing these as we're growing and developing into a fully grown adult here. So here we are, fully grown adult, maybe age 21, 18, 21, between that age, trying to figure out, what's this life about? What am I here to do? Um, and, for the most part, we will follow a lot in our parents' footsteps. Now, for some of us, that might be, we might have had a very expansive upbringing where we were encouraged to, follow our passions no matter what. But many of us were kind of programmed to, follow the norms of society, to um, to work hard, to get a job, to maybe get married, have a family, get a mortgage, that kind of thing, and then just be very person centered, very self centered. And so it was really all about this little me here, looking at what I can get to make me happy. So, and this little me is seeking happiness. Because by the time we've become adults, normally we've lost a lot of that innocence and sense of just being, playfulness, the creative element, the creativity that was spontaneous when we were children. So sometimes by the time we're an adult, that's kind of like being suppressed and dampened. And then if there's been any trauma in our lifetime, these things all have their impact as well, and they shape, what the adult's perspective is going to be of its world. But just to keep things simple, because obviously there's infinite parallel realities, we've all had different timelines, we've all had different degrees of experiences that have, um, caused suffering in our lives, but we can't cover all of that here, okay? So basically, the main thing is that we're all been looking for that happiness. We're just looking to feel fulfilled in some way. And most of us were taught that it would come through partnership, that it would come through, having a family, that it would come from, just working for a company, and, accepting that this amount of salary was good and was, acceptable, even when you were working 40 hours a week or whatever. So we've had all these conditions, and so here we are, still consuming as an adult. So the unhappy self is constantly on the search for happiness. And what this programming does is it breeds that search for happiness through the external life. So the consumer is seeking happiness in external things, things outside of itself, because this has been an habitual programming to look in the world of things, to have that um, sensory stimulus, the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows. And so we're always seeking for the highs, we're always seeking for that pleasure. Um, so this is what really breeds that consumer identity. But the problem we're facing at this point on the planet, obviously, is the 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 mass amount of people that are on the planet, 8 billion or whatever. Um, there, if so many of us are in this consumer um, kind of mindset, then we're just going to keep taking, we're going to keep taking, and we're going to keep consuming what the companies are advertising to us and telling us what we need, and advertising is really lack based. It tells you, where you're unhappy and that you need this product, in order to be happy. So this creates this kind of consumer um, greed of just, wanting, wanting, wanting. But what this is doing at the moment is creating a lot of waste, plastics, pollution, all that kind of stuff that is not very good for the planet, and something's got to change. So we're hearing all about climate change, and all the environmentalists are up in arms saying we've got to do something now. I'm sure you've heard of Greta and all these people that are saying things need to change big time in order to um, create the effect that we want to have this green planet where everyone is thriving, but we're finding the way that we can live as a society where we're not seeking external happiness, we're not seeking happiness through external things, but we're learning that um, the sages have been telling us, the gurus, happiness is within you. It's within you. When you find your peace, when you come into your own sense of wellness, well-being, and peace, when you manage to calm the mind and stop all that seeking and projecting out here, and not being distracted from the material advertisements and things like that, when we're not getting distracted by all of that, we can settle. We can start to meditate. We can do yoga. We can do lifestyle practices that are going to help bring us into balance. Because as within, so it is without. And as Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. So in order to affect this external change that we want to see in the world at large, as a collective, and for the health of planet Earth and all her creatures, there has to be fundamental change within. So if we can shift from this consumer into a co-creator, a benefactor to the earth, a contributor to the earth, a contributor to a happier, harmonious society, and have that shift through transformation and awakening, which is happening on this planet at this point in time. People are going through these shifts. This isn't working anymore. It just isn't working. And it's causing a lot of destruction in the process, personally and collectively, and for our dear planet Earth, our home. So if we really want to change and become a happier society and have a greener, healthier planet, then we have to make this shift from this consumer based way of being into more of a co-creator and a contributor. So that's really where also our true fulfillment comes, because if we are doing something that is of benefit to the collective, and we are contributing to a happier, harmonious society, um, this benefits us as well on a personal level, because we're not externalizing our happiness. um, we have to like make the shift within ourselves first, and then start to express that in the world. We've been looking in all the wrong places for our happiness, basically. So if we can start to reflect within, and in this process of reflecting within, ask ourselves, what is it truly that I can bring? What can I bring to the planet? What if I was going to be the change that I want to see in the world? What would your specific frequency, what would your specific quality be that you would like to see more of in the world? So for example, if you're a very compassionate person, and you just have a lot of compassion and love, and you would like to see people being more compassionate, then that's for you to express first. We can't expect the change to happen in everybody else outside of us. We have to become that. So um we have to look at, well, that if that's the frequency or the quality that I want to see more of on this planet, then what can I do to create that within me, within my community? Because a lot of these changes are going to happen at the community level. So maybe have a look around you, and your community, and the people that are closest to you, and see how you can kind of start to make small changes. Or it could be as simple as, I don't know, setting up some kind of social group, so some kind of social network, maybe where you see there's a need in your area, um, something that's beneficial to other people, something that's going to benefit the people around you, and your community. So we can start there, um, but it's also by finding our own inner happiness, our own inner fulfillment, is also going to be energetically significant, and will radiate out into the world as well. So it's not that we all have to be out there, doing stuff all the time. It's about an inner change that happens, an inner shift in transformation. And really, basically, it comes down to just more love, more love, opening our hearts to be more loving. So that's basically it. I'm just seeing if there's anything else I wanted to cover. Um, yeah, I think that's it really. Is to be more solution focused, in service to the benefit of all. Um, coming home to ourselves, coming home to our true soul's fulfillment, and what really makes us happy. Which is often when we're helping other people. When we see other people having benefit in some way. Um, but I do feel at this point on the planet, we have to really consider what the collective changes, the collective transformation, in order to protect and kind of keep this sacred, this beautiful earth, this beautiful planet that we've been given, in order to experience this life, because we're not going to be here forever. This is just a window of experience. Um, and, in order for the children of the future to be able to, go out and climb a tree and swim in the ocean where there's no plastics floating around, um, I think, what would be more fulfilling than just, knowing that you've done something, you've contributed in some way to the greater good. So that's really what this is about. It's just getting out of the consumerist mindset, and having this shift into becoming a co-creator, a contributor for the benefit of the good of all. So we want to build a happier, harmonious society. Get rid of all this old programming. Just like um, because it created the suffering, you know, and the suffering drives us to the awakening and the transformation. So know that any suffering that you did go through has had a purpose. Any suffering that anybody's gone through has not been wasted. Okay, so that's important to know. Suffering leads to awakening and transformation, so that we can really ask the questions of, well, what is the truth of happiness? What truly is fulfilling, you know? So it's not just about this little me here, this unhappy self trying to get. It's about giving. So it's a time to give rather than take on this planet. So thank you for listening to this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please share it to those that you might find would be interested in listening to this information. And I really appreciate you. Thank you. Have a great day.